It is December 2019 and the future appears to be here. My name is Dipayan Datta and this is the MG ZS EV. Now it's the second electric car to really make it into the Indian market when it will in January next year. And on paper it seems to have all the right ingredients. It has the right range, the right kind of dimensions and decent performance. The question is, does it justify the premium it commands over conventionally powered cars in terms of price? So let's not waste any more time and take a closer look at what this MG ZS EV really has to offer. And so now we're inside the MG ZS EV. Let's turn it over and see what it sounds like. Of course, all you're going to get is the sound of silence and that beep that tells you that you're ready to go. You have a dial style shifter that lets you put it in D and step on it and you move away in absolute silence. Now this is one part of electric cars that I can really get used to. I mean, I like loud cars as much as the next guy, but on the day-to-day, in traffic, I don't like a lot of sound in the cabin, and that is something you get with EVs. I can whisper and you can still hear me. Now let's talk about the performance. So under the hood is your standard electric motor, which makes about 150 bhp and 350 Nm of torque. Now being electric, of course, you get a large chunk of that torque right from the time you dab the throttle. And what that means is, if you dab the throttle even now when we're moving at 60 kilometers an hour, the MG ZS EV just shoots forward with a vengeance. And it's something that takes a little getting used to, the kind of torque and the way that it is delivered so smoothly without any transition. But it is one of the things that we will really get used to and we will really start to like about EVs in the future. In terms of range, you get about 300 kilometers of range. Now that will vary, of course, on usage. Drive it fast and the range drops. Put it in sport mode and the range drops. You can put it in eco mode and the range goes up. You can turn up your KERS system, which is right here, and then it controls the amount of regeneration you have depending on the setting that you've chosen. There are 3 settings. One is the least, which is mostly for highway traffic. 2 is a moderation of both, and 3 is the most, which you can use either for bumper to bumper traffic or when you're driving downhill. Like a Formula 1 car, it uses the kinetic energy from your brakes and from the rolling of your wheels to charge the battery basically and extend your range marginally. Now you're not going to get a whole lot of range and it's not something that you can really depend on, but it'll give you that little bit of an extra edge, which makes it really nice. Now, one of the things that we talk about a lot when it comes to electric cars is instantaneous torque. And that is something that takes a little bit of getting used to because it's so instantaneous and it's so fast and puts that speed down onto the road so instantaneously. Now, to give you an example of what it's like, I'm going to throw the ZS EV into sport drive mode. It's already in D, so that's done. And I'm just going to whack it and you will see the way it shoots forward and what that instantaneous torque really means and what it's all about. MG claimed that the ZS EV will go from 0 to 100 in 8.6 seconds. We have an empty stretch of road and let's see if it can do it. That was the traction control kicking in. We're 70, 80, 90 and that's 100 kilometers an hour. That, ladies and gentlemen, was pretty quick. So when you do throw it in sport mode, there is a more prominent whirring sound than you get in as usual, but the payback of that is a lot of performance. So on this short first drive, it's a little hard to get into how the MG ZS EV really handles and how it takes corners. But prima facie, I can tell you this: the steering wheel feels nice, it feels nicely weighted, it feels like it can change direction easily, and of course there is always that instantaneous torque that you can use to correct if you've gone off. MG have managed to get a good balance between comfort and damping so as not to send too many jerks directly into the cabin but not make it wallowy at the same time. And that is something I really like about the ZS EV. Now, another thing that MG have been on about, whether it was at the preview or at right before the drive, is the luxury factor that they wanted to convey with this car. They've used a lot of soft touch on the top of the dash, on the steering wheel. There are a few hard plastics, but they're well contrasted with the soft touch and these brushed aluminium finish. And that was our review of the MG ZS EV. We hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the Auto Today channel to never miss a beat on anything auto. As for me, I have a day to myself and the sport mode on the MG ZS EV, and I'm about to enjoy it.